What's going on, folks? It is Steve. It is race day yet again here for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Man, oh man, playoffs have begun today at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The first race of the round of 16. Going to be pretty interesting here. It's not the typical 2.5 mile track that we're used to in the same city, but today we're going to go on the shorter version of Indianapolis, and this place is going to be a lot of fun. Maybe interesting, maybe cautions, maybe, a bloodbath. We'll see. We'll see what kind of race we're going to get to today. But man, hey, either way, the first round of the playoffs, always a blast. And today in Indianapolis, we're going to get down trackside already for qualifying, already underway. This track going to be very interesting to see how it can work out. Now, obviously, much shorter, about 0.6 of a mile is this track, and going to be a lot of fun to see what they can do around this place. Outside lane dominant. Very curious to see how it can work out, but man, going to be a lot of fun to figure it out. Adam Garza already on the top of the line right here in P1. Laps are very, very quick, so you got to just hustle around. Jacob Weiss making a move here. Playoff driver in his second season now, I believe. And man, looking really, really good. Halsey, bunch of guys making their moves. Thomas Meeks on track. There he is. Adam Garza still on top, though, looking very, very fast. Van Drogman, last week's winner. Hey, not a playoff driver, but here to still make an impact. Can definitely do it. I've got a funny feeling, but keep in mind, folks, the folks on the drivers on the top left of your screen on the tower, anybody in lime green is a playoff driver. Anybody in black is not. So you'll see a lot of familiar names as well not up there. We'll talk about that in just a minute during the warm-up, but right now, finding out who can get themselves on the pole. Man, track position here will be huge. Very difficult passing around this place. Anderson up to P3. Good job there. Matthew Fleming going to try and get himself a good lap right here. Daryl Young to P15, it looks like. In that 71 HDR machine. Who else is on track here? Larson. We know Larson, and he loves these short tracks. I feel like this is going to be a good place for him. Missed him last week, but hey, watch out for Larson today. Van Drugman up to P6. Not a bad start for him. Brandon 6, one of those names that are not playoff, or not in the playoffs this season. He qualified for them, but unfortunately had to pull himself out of respect for his competition. Hey, he's not going to make, I think, 2 races in the playoffs, so he said, you know what? I'll give up my spot for drivers who can go for a championship, so definitely commendable for Brandon 6. Trying to get himself on the pole here. He was the fastest in practice, so got a funny feeling we'll see some really good speed here out of that 66 machine. There's his first lap. Where does he end up? Right now, nowhere near that top 20. Let's see if we can find out and figure it out here. Watch out for that wall. Really wiggly. A couple of more guys on pit road here. Starting their lap in just a minute. Gonna come down the track here a bit in turn 4. Looks like a fast one. Where does he end up? P4 for Brendan 6. Didn't quite get all of it. Villalobos on track now as well. Only 5 minutes again for qualifying, so 2 laps in 5 minutes. Can definitely do that here pretty quickly. Struggling there, Villalobos a little bit. Kenny Reel on track here as well in the 11. Mealy up to 14, by the way. Kenny Reel making his way around the track. Not too bad. Nobody else really on track. Actually, Mealy is on track right here. I'm not sure if he's slowing down, looks like. Maybe that might be it for him. So P14 on the day for him. Don't see anybody else on track. A couple of guys looks like they didn't qualify. I'm looking at Frankie Barossa didn't qualify. Tim Robb, Ryan Sharp, and maybe a few others as well. Mark Whitley, Will Doe, all qualified pretty low in the standings. So we're going to give them a second here, 5 minutes to warm up, get some practice going real quick. Bathroom break, pit road entry practice, all kinds of things. So we'll talk about a couple of things when we come back, folks. Stick around. We'll come right back after we talk to a few sponsors.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers full sleeping, Rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, Rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Welcome back, folks. Right now in the pre-show of the PRSsetups.com Indy 175. Hey, go and check them out. Premier Setups. We use them all season long on every track, and man, they are absolutely incredible. Very, very good. They can make tough tracks like this feel a lot better, right? That's kind of the thing about it. Man, these custom sets are definitely the way to go, and if you want to get one yourself for, hey, a league or for an A Open or B Open, go and check them out, man. PRSsetups.com and get yourself a good one. Right now, the warm-up is underway for our race here today at IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. A couple of breaking news topics to talk about real quick. Over the night last night, learned that, contender for the championship, Frankie Barroso, is going to be missing a couple of races. So he's going to be falling out. He also pulled himself out of the playoffs, just like Brandon Six did a couple weeks back. So Frankie Barroso will be out of the playoffs. Man, came in here as the 4th seed pretty much. Very, very good season with one win and a lot of playoff points. So we'll have to miss the playoffs. He'll be here for most of them, but he'll miss probably 2 or 3 races. So unfortunately, he'll be out, which means that, man, guess who got lucky? Mr. Devin Smecker. Is he on track right now? Where is he? I'm trying to find him. He is not. So Devin Smecker will be the driver who gets in the playoffs in his place, because he was the driver who was next in line from the wildcard race last week. So Devin Smecker gets his way in. And man, before the playoffs even started, we're like, dang, Devin's a great driver. Just a season just didn't quite go well for him. But now gets a fresh start on life in these playoffs. So definitely going to be good to see how we can get through in this round. So big implications, obviously, for everybody. Here comes Brandon Bowie practicing that pit road entry. Slows right down. Again, that entry on turn 3 going to be really difficult for these guys, I think. Pretty bumpy and just different, right? The only time we see that is, I think Gateway has something similar. But man, tough entry there. So green flag pit stops might be pretty interesting if we can get down to it. I know that's probably a far cry, because this track might produce some intense racing, but you never know, right? We expect a lot of cautions. I think that's kind of the name of the game here, right? It's just, you have to drive hard. That low line is so loose. You see Delarian right now. It's really a high line dominant track, progressive banking, so it steepens up as you go to the high line. And all the grip is really pretty much up there. So got to be super careful to get yourself going. But here we go. Warm-up session is ending. We're going to get down to this race here momentarily. The PRSsetups.com 175 here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. About to get it underway. I'm pretty excited. This is always a track that I've wanted us to go to, right? And we're here. So let's see how it goes. On the pole today, Adam Garza. Man, that man is bad fast today. Expect to see him looking really good. P2, Devin Sprecher, there he is. The man who got himself into the playoffs. Hey, not a bad day. So hopefully he can keep continuing that and that luck streak he's got going on right now. We'll see how it goes. P2, James Thurston, the regular season points leader, entering the playoffs here today. Starts off 40 points up on his competition, so very, very good right there. Brandon Six in P4, John Hagan in P5. Anderson Johnson, better plays Van Drugmans, Brandon Bowie round out the top 10. Rounding out the top 20, Christian Angel, Max Brady, Matthew Fleming, Joseph Mealy, Thomas Meeks, Daryl Young, Trevor Zelazny, James Kaufman, Jacob Wiest, and then Josh Larson in P20. Rounding out the field, Kenny Reel, Austin Halsey, Mark Whitley, Will Doe, Ethan Delaire, Frankie Barroso, Tim Robb, Ryan Sharp, Julio Villalobos, and then Austin Salyers rounds out in P30. Here we go. PRS Setups 175. Not going to waste any time to get ourselves under green. One more pace lap, and we'll be off and running here. Again, folks, everybody in the lime green on your tower are playoff drivers. And again, the playoffs work this way. This round of 16 drivers, it's the first round. There's 4 races in this playoff bracket, this round. The 4 drivers with the best points after these 4 races will move on to the championship 4. So a long way to go. A little bit of a mini 4-race season here to figure out who our championship contenders will be. Race details on the day. There we go. 175 for race laps. Stage 1, lap 60. Stage 2, lap 120. And you know the rest. Here we go. Adam Garza, Devin Sprecher on the front row, leading us green here from IRP. One lap already underway. John Hagan got really mashed up there with Michael Johnson. Keeps it going, though. Great save. Lost a couple spots, but definitely an oh crap moment already on lap 1. But we stay green right now. Everyone's already fighting for their life to get around cars. The restarts are going to be the best time to do it. Bunch of guys back here. Will Doe trying to make it move. Outside lane will be key right here. Austin Halsey already into the outside wall, and I think that's kind of a good thing, right? If you get in trouble here, you're already running the outside line, so you're going to be in the wall anyway. The distance from you to the wall is very short, and I think that's probably a good thing to save cars, save guys from, overdriving and things like that, right? The passing lane will be down low, as we're already single file here into this race. Van Drugmans trying to go 2 for 2 here in the ASRA P7 right now, and getting himself already behind Michael Johnson way down low here on the apron. Might find himself side by side here. Michael Johnson, maybe not quite, but I like this strategy call though, right? Hey, use the entire track. You can go all the way down. It's just not going to really work most of the time, but hey, we're already single file for the most part. James Kaufman, Daryl Young, side by side here. Jacob Wiest, ooh, man, tried to do a slide job or something, but just didn't work. So hard to come off that wall once you're already in it. But he keeps it going. Gotta watch the right side of that car. It'll definitely be banged up. Yellow flag already out. Van Drugman looks like going to be the cause of this first caution. Interesting. He was just right behind Michael Johnson, I believe it was. Oh, his front end's really banged up. Let's go back and take a look. Maybe just got loose out of turn 4. We've seen that a couple times. Definitely in practice. Try and find out where... Oh, yeah. Just lost it out of turn 4. Hard hit onto the inside wall here. Oh, man. Yeah. Last week's winner at Las Vegas, just not going to be maybe enough today. Nice thing about short tracks, you can fix the damage. It's not really about aero necessarily. It's about handling and things like that. So he might be okay if he can get that car fixed, but that is unfortunate already on lap 7. So, lap number 9. Honestly, that was pretty good. Everyone kind of fanned out pretty evenly right there. Single file for the most part throughout the field once they kind of figured it out. And I think we're going to get to that, right? Believe it or not, I think if we start to see everyone single file, if this race goes green maybe for, I don't know, 15, 20 laps, it's got the potential to go green for a long time. Now, I think what'll happen is what might go south is when they have to green flag pit stop. But green flag stops, man, they're not going to happen a lot just because the fuel here, they can go over 100 miles or 100 laps, excuse me, on fuel. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, right? In this race. Tires will be, for sure. So this will become more of a tire race than a fuel mileage race as we continue on. So lap 10, first caution. Garza, Thurston, Smecker, your top 3. All Murphy Esport teammates looking to get themselves, man, coming on strong this year for sure. Thurston, obviously, a winner. Smecker and Garza, man, they are right there too. And it's coming for sure. These guys are just very, very fast. Brandon 6, we talked about in P4, not going for a championship, but definitely fast enough to play spoiler. Just a matter of when that happens. So, 1 to go. The choose rule is underway here. Everyone making their choice. Not too bad as we see it. Everyone making their choose still as they can, and we're going to be good to go here. So, green flag going to be back out here with Smecker and Garza on the front row. Getting it back going here from IRP. Sunset is starting to fade a little bit. We'll finish this race under nighttime conditions at some point, but right now we are back green. So far, so good. That low line is so sketchy. Right where Kaufman is in that 25, the yellow machine. That's pretty tough. Oh, as we see it right here, Will Doe, James Kaufman, a huge wreck. Just talking about it. That's why I was watching it, because that's the tough part, right? That low line is just, there's just no grip there. You can kind of diamond this the corners here in turns 1 and 2 and make it work. On N3 and on exit if you kind of drift to the high line. But man, that right there is why it's so difficult here at this track. Give it one more look here. So yeah, so James Kaufman got loose there, to be fair, off of turn 4. But then, yeah, just goes around. Will Doe involved in it, unfortunately. Wrong place, wrong time there for Will Doe. But again, that low line, this is one of those tracks too where, man, if you don't practice this track enough, you're not going to know that the outside line is the key to be in, right? Especially, again, cold tires as well. Cold tires here do not mix. Really have to give it a couple laps to be confident enough to make that low line work. So lap 15 out of 175. This race, by the way, it was made short on purpose. Typically, this would be a 200 to maybe 225 lap race, but we decided, you know what? It's our first time here. It is the playoffs, but it could also be a caution fest. We've learned the hard way from, you know, tracks like New Hampshire, Martinsville, and things like that. So made it a little shorter in hopes that it would be a little bit more feasible as a race. So it should go by pretty quick. Again, stages still come out, lap 60 and lap 120, but there's no cautions. So if you're new to our series, there's no cautions for stages. We just keep it green, but we still award the points. So good stuff. Big shout out, by the way, again, just to, Premier Setup Shops. There they are right there. Go and check them out. They provide our setups for every single race we do here for ASRA, and always make them really good. So can't wait to see how this works out. So far, it seems like they're great on this track. I got a chance to practice it myself, and these guys definitely are making it stand out. So pretty cool. It felt good. This track is just tough, you know, to begin with, and I think it's tough to, you know, when you have a track like this that is so foreign to a lot of these guys, right? It's not a usual suspect, right? Like a Kansas or a whatever other, you know, normal NASCAR track, right? But a place like this is different. It's difficult, and drivers aren't used to, you know, driving on the high line like you do here, you know. So it's just something different, and it's one of those battles of attrition, I think, to a degree, right? So we'll see how these guys can handle it. I think we'll see a pretty good amount of cautions as this race goes on. I do, but as the nighttime goes down, it'll grip up, and that means the car will drive just a tad, you know, tighter, which also could mean that we see guys trying to send it in, right? Slide jobs, things like that, but you never know. So right now, so far, I've seen 2 incidents that have, you know, been caused on the exit of turn 4, so that just tells me the car is loose, and that low line is pretty slippery. So either way, we're going to get it right back going. Smecker and Garza up front. Pace car pulls off. And we're going to get it back going here. All Murphy Esport top 3. What can they do early on in this race? Stage 1 will come in pretty quick. Only 42 laps away. Green flag is back out. Michael Johnson, man, way down low right there, going to try and make a dive bomb move. Not going to quite make it work, but trying to find grip wherever he can. This track state is pretty well rubbered in. As you can see, those dark lines all over the racing surface. So this track has the grip right now. It's just a matter of, man, can they get around and find it? Top 3, really top 5 already spreading out for the most part. These guys right here, all making it work on the outside line. Jackson Anderson on the outside, trying to find some room here to finish the pass off with Max Brady. Brady going to get a little loose on entry. Got to be really careful there. Can't drive it in too deep. That back end will definitely slide out. Good move right here. Brady going to try and maybe slide in. Has the room right now between him and Angel. Yes, he is going to find out. Single file. Back in the back a little bit. Mark Whitley down low. We know Mark Whitley. We know his style. He loves short track racing, but maybe not in this car necessarily. So we'll see what he can do here in this race right now in P13. Trying to find some grip in that low lane. It is the shortest way around the track, but you just can't. Oh, as we see, who's that in the back? Villalobos, I think. Yes, it is. Around he goes. Van Drugman does the same thing in the back there. Villalobos way off track right there, way down by the inside wall, but I guess iRacing still considers that as a caution. So, all right. So Villalobos Van Drugmond. Caution number 3. And we can see him, right? The whole top front half of the field got single file pretty quick. And I think that's going to be the name of the game, right? They can do it. Like I said earlier, if you can get these guys to, you know, maybe 10 or 15 laps into a green flag run, I think it goes green for a long time. I really do. I just think passing will be difficult. You know, tire saving will be hard, especially later on into this race. Last week at Vegas, for example, was a great example of that. Had 6 cautions first, what was it, 50, 60 laps. But then we went green the entire second half of the race. So it's just, you never know how these races can go. And, man, definitely interesting for sure. But nobody at this place wants to be in the back. And especially knowing that fuel, you can go so far on fuel. Tires especially will come into play, but not fuel. So, it'll be a lot of fun to find out how this thing can keep going. Big shout out, by the way, as usual, to harpoondesign.com. Does a lot of the paints for this series and a lot of the paints, man, all around iRacing. So go and check him out on Trading Paints, or go to his website right there. And Brantley will get you a paint done, and you'll be very happy. I can promise. He'll very, very good paints. Always a good job. As Will Dell gets his lap back there for Lucky Dog. He'll be getting it back right now. So that's kind of the nice thing too, right? Short tracks, you know, Lucky Dogs, you can be multiple laps down and get your laps back just because the cautions, you know, happen so often. So it can definitely be a thing. But it is all good. We forgot our playoff banners. No, you didn't. I got you, boo. Look at him. Boom. Right there. There he is. Angel. Mark Whitley. You didn't forget nothing, my friend. I tried this thing this season, and I gave everybody, or you know, all the, this is some insider knowledge, by the way, folks. I gave everybody our playoff banners like I usually do, the lime green ones like you see with Devin right there. But yeah, this season I gave it to him to, you know, hey, put it on your car. But as a backup, I put it into my files on my end, so that way we can see them in case somebody forgets or if something gets messed up. So it's a lot better as far as uniformity, and it actually worked. So good to know. One to go here. We had a delay in the green flag. I'm guessing usually when that happens, shout out Matthew Kent, by the way, our race control, does an amazing job. Usually when that happens, he's usually penalizing somebody for a choose rule violation. So that might be the case here today, but I haven't heard anything yet. So that's good news, typically. So Smecker and Garza up front again. And again, this is why I think track position here today is going to be massive. Have to stay up front when you can. I'm going to go back green here. Lap 29. Almost halfway before stage 1 ends here. And green we go. Yeah, look at these fast guys. James Thurston trying to already make the inside lane work. Oh no, Brandon Six just absolutely ate the wall right there in a massive pileup on the backstretch here of IRP. Oh no. Brandon Six, engine damage. That's going to be it for him. Oh man, 2 straight weeks back to back that have just not gone his way. I see Villalobos there in the backstretch as well. Oh, engine actually not damaged. I thought his engine might have been blown there, but it looks like he might be okay? Question mark. I guess who knows, but we'll go back there and find out what happened, man. That was a huge wreck, and he was right up front, so that's usually when you'll see the biggest issues. Try and go back to that green flag start. Pretty much happened back there, so we'll go all the way back to the restart here if we can. 6 is already in the wall here. So let's go back even further. Okay, here we go. Here's the green flag. We'll get a better view here from the chopper cam. And we'll watch Brandon 6. What goes down here? Is there contact? He is right there. P4 on the outside wall. Maybe it just snaps on him. Outside wall. Oh, no. Some contact here maybe from his teammate. Fetter place. Yeah, 6 comes down across the nose of the 34 and just corrects it too much. Oh, my God. Huge wreck. Big damage there, maybe for BP. Angel just gets hit super hard here. Just nowhere to go. Mealy going to get involved. Everyone down low for the most part avoids the wreck. Don't think many more get involved. Oh no, Tim Robb. A couple guys stop. You hate to see it. You really do already early on. But hey, that can happen at a track like this. Just takes that one mistake, right? 6 probably thought he was clear in front of Fetter Place. But yeah, unfortunately was not. And that will most likely end his race today. Not good already. Big time players being taken out. Van Drugman had his issue earlier on in lap 7. Now Brandon 6 with his. And we mentioned it, right? A matter of attrition. It's just going to be just get through this race. This round has 4 tracks and they're all different. So it comes down to making sure that you just do your absolute best to see the end of these races and be there at the end, because that's what will matter the most, right? Good qualifying, avoiding the wrecks, and maybe a lot of luck on your side too. So it's all good. But lap 33, stage 1 will end here in about, what is that, 25 laps? So we're getting through it for sure, but we're going to go back green here again on lap 35. 25 to go for stage 1. Devin Smirker right now, hey, making the best of his situation. Found himself in the playoffs after Frankie Barroso had to back out of him. Right now, P2 on the outside lane. What can he do today, man? Huge start to his playoff run. Here we go. Back green again we go. Garza and Smirker, teammates up front. Thurston wasting no time trying to get down. Ooh, who's this in the back? Zelazny. Looks like maybe Daryl Young. No, it's Max Brady and Trevor Zelazny in the back. Very minimal damage from what I see back there, but let's take a look. So right here, Trevor already has some damage to the back end. Man, he's already in the back of the field too, so already not having a super great start to his race. Oh, just got clobbered from the back. That was from Will Doe, I believe that was, that pink car. And yeah, Trevor and Max just had nowhere to really go. Ah, man. Tough. It's just that accordion effect, right? The short track accordion effect can be real. Different braking zones, different throttle inputs, right? It can all change. Christian Angel on track right now on pit road. Brady, a couple of guys trying to fix their cars. Yellow flags. This is good for these guys, right? Because they can get themselves fixed up and, hey, buff out those bumpers. Trying to see if they can keep going. Looks like that might be the case for a lot of these guys. Daryl Young as well on pit road. I didn't see him having any issues, but try and zoom in here. I think I might see some left front damage, but not a whole lot. He must have been involved in a wreck that we did not see, maybe as a secondary casualty, but don't see it. That is fine. We're going to go back green here momentarily. Hey, we expected this. We knew when we put this on the schedule, hey, Indy Raceway Park might be We don't know. It could be a mess. It could be a lot of fun. Either way, I think it's going to be something, right? But it's good. This, in my mind, this is fun. This changes the game up a bit. You know, going to the normal, defaults, I guess you can say tracks, right? There's value to that, but I think there's also something special about going to unique tracks that, the Cup car isn't maybe familiar with, right? And we see it all the time in real life too. I mean, shoot, we're going to Mexico City in a couple weeks, in the real world, and we're going to, whatever else. We're doing street course racing. We're doing so. I mean, is it really too far out of the realm of realism? No, I don't think it is. So I think it's all possible, right? Would we see these guys go into this track in real life? I don't think we would, but hey, you never know. Caution flag back out, looks like. It delayed caution going to be out here, so we'll get that slow down a bit. See some guys in the back here. I'm not sure if there's a choose rule infraction or whatnot, but we will get it back going. Big shout out, as always, to Whiplash Sim Cams. Man, they are one of our... I'll tell you what, these guys just kick some ass. The cameras they give us always look really, really good on these tracks. And man, it's just... no one beats them. I'll tell you that right now. So go and check them out. I know they're on Facebook quite a bit, as well as they have their own Discord too. So shout out to them. And man, they make us look really, really good. But no one's going to look better right now than that front row. Garza, Smecker, Thurston, Michael Johnson now in that fourth spot on the outside row. What can they do here? Lap 40, 20 to go here in stage one. Sunset already going down right now, and look at this, down low, Brendan Bowie. Oh, Anderson into the wall up there on the high line, but he is good still. No worries as they keep it going. Devin Smecker, man, look at him right now. Hosky hot lap around Indianapolis Raceway Park. Look at what they've got going on here. Diving it in right here, not too hard. You don't want to kick out that back tires. Nice rounded corner, diming that corner a little bit. Down past the seam, heavy on the throttle. Back into it right here. Sunset starting to go down, teammates in the windshield. And man, so far not looking too bad right here for Smecker. P3. Man, Murphy Esports putting on a clinic early in this race. P5 and 6 right here under fire. Mark Whitley down low, looking pretty good. He's making this low line work. Not a bad move though too. If you're tight by any means, you can kind of use that low line to kind of make those left tires hook onto it, and then it'll just pull you left. So, but the thing is, it could be really snappy loose down there, but if you can make it work like Mark Whitley seems to be doing, man, you can just make up some time, especially in long runs. I bet that'll really be a big factor. Look at this, 3 watt here at IRP. Tim Robb on the outside lane. Ryan Sharp way down low. Going to be super careful. Uh-oh, big spinneroo. Austin Salyers. Got to be so careful. I mean, when you're involved in that, right? The race is long. You've got 175 laps. You got to be careful not to give up too much too soon. And man, especially when you're back here, you're kind of in that, late teen, 14th, 15th area. Probably not in position, right, to get yourself stage points since we're so close to it, but got to be careful. Let's take a look at what happens here to Austin Salyers. Looks like it's already going down there. We'll go back a bit. Okay, Salyers here. Try and get a better view. Okay, so here he is. You see a big mess of cars in front of you. Number 19 right here. 3 wide up ahead. Yes, he kind of dives down right there and just comes up, right? So just completely misjudged his entrance. Got right into the back of Kaufman. Fetterplace just scooches by. Don't think that'll be a lot of damage there for the 34, if any. Will Doe again going to be trying to avoid this. Oh no. Gets past him. And that'll be it. So yeah, it's just a misjudge of a corner entry. Typically only do that once, so we'll see if we can get better next time for that. Just gotta be careful, right? You don't have to dive it in. This track is more patience than you know, early aggression. So bunch of guys working on some hard damage here. Van Drugmans, Angel, obviously Will Doe. Bunch of guys having some pretty hard damage here as they continue on this race. But we are chugging along right now. Garza, Thurston, Smucker, Bowie, Johnson, your top 5. Right now, making it work. Just about lap 50. So we're getting down to the end of this race, or really halfway, excuse me, pretty quick. Halfway is about, what is that, 90 laps, give or take? So, yeah, about lap 85, right past this stage. Getting to halfway pretty quick here. I think 175 laps was probably the right call. Hey, we've seen plenty of, I'll tell you what, there's been a couple of races that we've had a bunch of cautions in that were pretty damn good, like at the end of the day, right? Just, they were kind of spread out throughout the race, but yellow flag back out again. I wonder if he's catching some more drivers with that choose violation. Oh, some more cars are on track, but looks like. On pit road still, a bunch of guys under damage repair. Pace car does seem to be coming down pit road earlier than usual. I know that in a recent iRacing update, the pace car is pretty quick when it comes to when it should be on and off track, but so far so good here from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Now we're going to go back green here. Again, same teammates up front. Everyone just trying to do what they can. Kenny Reel, look at that, up to P8 right there in that 4th row. Man, great run for him. Ethan Delaire, not too far back behind him too. A lot of good runs for a lot of guys. If you can hold on to your stuff, you can really have a good race today. Look at the front. Thurston again tries it on the inside lane. Not going to quite get it done. He is not wasting time. He thinks he can make up time right here. And I think he can, right? I think once we see this track rubber up just a tiny bit more, and once we get into the sunset in nighttime conditions, man, track temp will go down. I think that that move he makes might be possible. Looking good, though. Teammates all trying to make a move. Michael Johnson in P4. Man, a good race for him today. Would be huge for his playoff run. A lot of these guys are using this race. Ooh, be careful there on the inside of Smucker. Trying to find that gap. But a lot of guys are using this race as their one race where they feel like they can just kind of give it away. You got to be careful in the next 3 races, but IRP, this could be the wild card that a lot of these guys are thinking about. Hey, if we can walk away with a good points finish today, that is huge. We're also in that time frame now, lap 55. If a caution comes out now, that will be the stage end, since we are within that 5 laps of the scheduled distance. If we get to lap 60, we will stay green, as we always do for stages this season. Up front, though, Garza still in that lead. Thurston definitely hard charging. Front of the pack, pretty much all single file. Hagen making a move here on the inside as well, still trying, as well as Meeks and Tim Robb. Apollo Motorsports pretty well close right there. Bookending Thomas Meeks. Not looking bad here. Everyone's starting to kind of figure it out. Ooh, Kaufman, Villalobos. You got to be so careful. This is one of those tracks, again, similarly to New Hampshire and Martinsville, where the entry, people brake way differently and throttle up differently at a track like this. Single file for the most part right now. 1 lap to go here for Adam Garza to get himself a stage win here in the playoffs. Playoff points don't matter anymore in this race, in these playoffs, but those bonus 10 points do for sure for winning the stage. You can definitely find yourself in the championship 4 with a bunch more of these. Adam Garza, there he is, wins stage 1 here from IRP. We stay green. Everyone else looking pretty good. Thurston, Smecker, Johnson, Bowie, Whitley, Barroso, Kenny Reel, Delaire, and Ryan Sharp all finish off getting those 10 points for the stage. And I think here we go, right? I think this is the realm we're about to be in. This is what I was talking about, the first, kind of part of the race, right? If we can go, I knock on wood, but if we can go, as I say that, Hagan gets real close right there with Brady and Ryan Sharp. They're still going for it. Hagan, man, just can't get the grip he wants on the inside lane. Slide job city here. Seeing smoke in the front. Who is that? Don't see anybody else in trouble, so it looks like he's going to be all set there. Zelazny actually getting word that he might have crashed here a second ago. He has some pretty big right side damage there. Still continuing on. And we stay green, obviously, but man, that car looks pretty well beat up. Has lost a ton of speed as well. May need to come down pit road at some point to get repairs done. But Michael Johnson here finally making a move around Smecker. Trying to do it. The inside lane seems to be the passing zone. And as these guys start to have some more trouble with their tires, right? It's going to get tighter. Tire wear can definitely fall apart. Going to get tighter and tighter. You'll see these guys kind of float up to the high lane, just like Smecker just did. So this might be good news. If you're a Michael Johnson, right? If you're a Brandon Bowie who's not too far back, you can really start to figure out what your tire wear is doing early on. Kind of use that first stage as a good mark to figure it out. So far, though, pretty well single file. And like I said earlier, didn't want to jinx it necessarily, and I still might, but hey, if we can get 10, 15, 20 laps of green flag, I think we go green for a long time. I really think we can see that. These guys in the back still fighting pretty hard, obviously. I didn't think we would see multiple groove racing like we are now. I thought this would be pretty well up high, and that's about it. Maybe a lane lower. But we're seeing guys all the way down onto the apron. Let's get a better look here if we can. Here we go. I mean, Van Drugman is just riding the inside of that yellow line. Really pretty cool to see, actually. Didn't expect to see that today. I thought it would race a lot tougher on the outside lane against the wall, which is typically the, traditional lane for speed here and for comfort, but right now looking very, very good. In the front, Adam Garza still leading. Thurston in P2, Michael Johnson in third spot. Very good run for that number 39 machine today for sure. Brandon Bowie, P5. Smecker not too far back in P5, still doing really well. Barroso, Whitley in P7 for the 77. Kenny Reel, surprisingly good run today, I will say. Kenny Rail's typically a really good, a big track guy, right? Like an Auto Club, Daytona, Dega, Michigan, right? But today, man, he is just doing really, really well. I got to give a shout out to him, man. He's doing very, very good today, all things considered. So a lot of good stuff from that Kenny Rail machine. Hagen, P9 so far, came into the playoffs in P2, has a pretty healthy lead in the points, but as of late, not having a great run. But hey, those playoff points definitely help. Trying to find himself down below here of Kenny Rail. Can he get himself on the inside lane? Looking pretty good there. Kenny may have let him go. Good run early on here as they all make it happen. Back in the field. Thought we saw a moment here a second ago, but that's not the case. Halsey having a good run on the outside lane here. Kaufman down low, involved in an incident earlier on. Angel has some damage on the front nose of his car, but again, that really shouldn't affect his car too much. It might make him a bit tighter, so that might affect him more and more as we get going later in this race, but can definitely figure it out as we go. So Larson still in P21. Not doing too bad right now. Teammate right behind him, team owner actually, Matthew Fleming, trying to get himself going here. And keep in mind, folks, everybody in the black labels on the tower, minus Frankie Broso and Brandon Six, they're all eligible for what we're calling the Dark Horse Chase Winner trophy. So basically, right now, for everybody not in the playoffs, who didn't make that lime green championship run, those guys, their season starts new today. Basically, over the next 7 races, which is the next, which is the remainder of the playoffs. Uh-oh, caution flag is out. Who is it? We'll get back to that in just a second. Lap 75. I don't see anybody off track. Interesting. So lap 75, don't see anybody having any issue here. Obviously, we expect to see everybody come down pit road. Let's see if we can find out what happens. It points us to Salyers, but oh, hold on. We saw smoke up ahead. It didn't give us a see if we can find out what happens here, because it didn't give us a driver with an issue. Oh, Trevor Zelazny. There he is. Looks like maybe just goes around. Try and get one more better look. I know they're on pit road right now, but try and find out what goes down here. We know that damage is pretty well bad on the front end. Happens here in the front stretch. Let's see on the back end of turn 4 here. He's below that seam. Does he hit the seam again? He does hit the seam. That's going to get him around. Yep. All right, so that's it. Made a great save. That probably wouldn't normally be a caution, but unfortunately he was around the wrong way. up too close on the racing surface. So iRacing will throw that every time, but it's all good. A lot of drivers came down pit road right here. Obviously, Adam Garza, leaders, Thurston, Johnson. Everyone here now should be good to go on fuel. That was why they all came down here. And, man, very, very good time to do that. Try and see if we can find how it all went down here a second ago. Everyone came off pit road pretty well clean. No issues, it looked like, from anybody. So green flag pit stops. Excuse me, pit stops are done as far as fuel. Again, they can go over 100 laps on fuel. So now they're good to go. Fuel-wise, tires might be a concern maybe later on in the race. If anybody wants to be... what's the word we'll use? I don't know. Courageous enough. I guess we'll call it that. But a couple of drivers stayed out, though, interestingly enough. Now, here's the thing, too. Earlier, you could have been, involved in wrecks or just far back, right? a person like Josh Larson, John Hagen, I believe they did pit earlier amongst all that chaos. So right now, when everyone has pit, they can still be good to go on fuel here too. Larson, Hagen, very good chance that these guys can go the rest of the way on fuel as well. So what can they do up against Garza and you know, Thurston, all these guys up front, right? But we don't know that yet. But up front in the clean air could be huge. We know Hagen has pulled this off before multiple times and has worked out pretty well for him. Larson, though, hey, ever since he got his connection fixed, I know that's been a big issue for him, his internet connection and even just PC issues in general. We'll see what he can do here. I've got a feeling Larson, hey, I said it pre-race, watch out for that 51. Today could prove it pretty well right. We're going to go back arena here on lap 81, about 40 laps away here from stage 2's end. Larson and Hagen, green flag is back out. Three wide here. Oh my gosh, Larson into the wall there. Man, they just did not give him any room. Hagen, Brady, and Thurston, they just used him up on the outside. Did not work out well for Larson. Maybe he thought that was coming. Fresh tires here, man. They are just so key. Hagen, though, still able to hold out front right there and make it work. Back in the field, still pretty well shaken up. Man, they are trying what they can here. These restarts are going to be absolutely chaos. We've seen them already be pretty rough. But they are starting to figure it out. Bunch of big-time players in the back. Anderson out back right now, trying to make it work down low, as well as Tim Robb. Couple of playoff drivers. Got to get themselves back into the front if they can. John Hagen still the leader of this race. Oh no, Michael Johnson into the ball hard on the inside. That's going to be a yellow flag again. Oh man, what a good run for Michael Johnson today so far. Was up in P3 and 4 for the most part of this race, but just right there, just lost it out of turn 4. And we've seen turn 4 kind of be calamity corner today. A lot of guys getting loose and out of shape, and that right there is not going to be good for his efforts today. Man, let's go back and see what happened to him. But we've seen a couple guys now from the lead, or not from the lead, but from the top 5, lose it in odd spots. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Here he is, unfortunately. Michael Johnson, yeah, just kind of gets loose here. I thought maybe he got tagged. He got tagged there by Dallaire, but just loose off of turn 4. And then just big damage. Looked very similar to what Van Drugman did earlier on in stage 1. Maybe not huge damage there. I think he can fix that, actually. It doesn't seem like he hit it as hard as Drugman did. But man, not good for Michael Johnson. And unfortunately, man, loses all of that track position too, which is key at a track like this. So we'll see what they can do here. A bunch of guys pitting, second half of the field. All coming down pit road. Fuel and probably tires will help for sure. Fixing all the damage. A lot going on here. Still working our way through stage 2. We're past the halfway point, pretty much right now. And, man, so far so good. Interesting race for sure. But hey, we thank everybody for being here today. Hit that subscribe button, the like button. Whatever you want to hit. We appreciate it all, and it's going to be always appreciated. So big thanks to you guys for supporting us. We've been kind of hovering in that 840-ish subs, so trying to get to that 1,000 mark. I know we don't stream every day, obviously, and it's just Tuesdays for now, but we'll get there at some point. Adam Dean in the chat. Love to see it. If you're not first, you're last. Love it. What a goated movie. Talladega Nights. Absolutely goated. So, lap 87. Lap 120 is the end of stage 2. So we're getting there. About 22 laps to go until we... I'm sorry, I can't do math. 32 laps to go until we get there. Hagan's still up front, followed by a couple of newcomers. Max Brady is back up here as well, and we saw him having some issues earlier on. I believe he was involved in the wreck with, I think it was a Lasny earlier on. Didn't have huge damage though, and right now able to keep it going. So love that. Delaire right here in P6. His journey in iRacing has definitely been pretty good. He's definitely made a mark, I'll say, on the series. He's a guy who, from my understanding, just started iRacing not too long ago, and kind of using ASRA in a way to kind of, learn with, good competition and, figure it out on his own and doing his thing and making it happen right now in P6, and awesome effort today if he can get that job done. Top 10, I think, today would be pretty big for him and crew, so not too bad today. Bunch of guys, though, having issues, but short track racing, man. We expected it to happen. Going back green on lap 90, 30 laps to go here until the end of stage 2. It's going to be Hagan and Garza up front. Not too bad right now. John Hagan still out front here of this PRSsetups.com Indy 175. Looking pretty good. Max Brady actually tracking him down too. Not a bad job. Adam Garza, Brandon Bowie now surpasses Thurston. That was a good move we saw. Oh, big wreck maybe in the back. Yes, it is. Smecker. Oh, no. Big caution right here on lap 92. We saw all the drivers stack up right there on the tower. That usually means it's a big mess. Unfortunate. Look, oh no, Delaire as well. We were just talking about him and how good he was doing. Actually, his car looks pretty well clean, so not sure if this was a minor incident. Smecker up back as well. Daryl Young. Oh man, what happened here? Find out. Maybe started here with Devin Smecker. Let's get a decent camera here. Find out what goes on. Delaire up front as well. Looks like it might actually begin with Delaire. Let's try and find out. Maybe he washes up in front of Whitley here. Try and get a good angle. Nothing happened there. Smecker gonna come. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Smecker just comes up into Delaire. That's gonna get Delaire around. Man, Delaire I think made a good save here to get off the wall as much as he could. Devin got a little snap loose right there and tried to hold on to it. Uh-oh, Meeks and Weiss right here. Lordy. Slow down enough to save it. Big impact there on the left side, but hit it pretty even, so he might be okay with that. Smecker as well. Man. Tough right there, man. So good of a run for those two. Just unable to capitalize so far in this race. Again, this is, in my opinion, it just comes down to attrition, right? You just have to kind of get through it right there. Smecker came up a little bit too much and into Delaire, but man, tough. And we might see that more often as the sun goes down. Track is going to get tighter. There's more grip. Might try and see some more, late race entry kind of situations. So we'll see as we keep it going. But lap 96, definitely working your way pretty close here to the end of stage 2. Race is actually going by pretty quick, which is good. And always a good time. Adam jinxed it in the chat. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to say that, but it happens. It's unfortunate, but it's, hey, that's just part of this style racing, right? It's, you get to put the whole piece together, and, you know, and for what it's worth, I mean, Smecker and Delaire's car look pretty good. I don't think they're damaged, you know, all too bad. I think Delaire's is pretty well good. Devin, I think, is probably going to be pretty decent here. His front end might be a little bit banged up on the right side. Yeah, a tad, but he can finish fixing that, you know, next caution or whatever it might be. But not too bad, I don't think, for those two. But the real heartbreak about the whole thing is the track position. They lost all track position, and here it is, I mean, just impossible to get back. So we'll see, you know, unless you do a different strategy, right? Hagan up front and Max Brady, you know, they're on a different strat right now than the guys behind him. So if you flip the strategy, that might be how you get back out in front, but can you hold on to it, right? Like what we saw with Larson. Lap 97, lap 98, we're going green on. 22 laps to go here in stage 2. Let's get it back going. Hagan and Brady taking us back green flag. Yellow flag back out. Don't see anybody off track right here. What? Maybe in the back. Oh, who's that in the back? Saw one car around. Might have actually been Delaire again. Looks like that might be the case here. We'll find it. Here we go. Delaire in the back. Oh, man. Oh, just completely lost it here on corner entry. Oh, Fleming. Uh-oh. Fleming just holds the brakes and... Oh, man, avoided him. Great. All right, so Delaire goes around here. Too hard into that corner. That's the thing that I'm telling you, we're going to see a lot more of, I think, tonight. It's going to be tough because... You get guys who go to the back of the field, right? But then they want to get back to the front, and they overdrive the car to think that that's going to be what it is to get themselves in front. But it's really not going to be the case. They're going to just wreck again, or they're going to spin out, right? So you have to do it, you know, one lap at a time. And you know, it sucks that, you know, in Delaire's case, he goes from P6 or roughly to now in the back, but you know, you also can't afford to be causing cautions and things like that. So it is tough, and it's a tough track, tough setup, but that's what we get going on. Under 75 laps remaining here. We are getting it going pretty good. As we're under caution right now, a big shout out to the Hosky and Cardano family. Always love them on board, always watching from the X Spaces over there, and always in the chat, doing us a solid and supporting their team. So Murphy Esports doing pretty good today, but a couple of guys have managed to sneak their way to the front of the pack here. Seems like so far they're able to really hold on to it. I mean, Hagan, Brady, we've seen them up front, as well as Garza obviously and all them, but we're seeing a lot of guys here kind of sneak their way up front. Bowie, Garza, Thurston, they've been up front for the most part this entire race. Whitley doing really good. Frankie Barroso not too far back. Kenny Real, hey, still holding on to that P8. Really solid effort out of Kenny Real today. Mealy not too far back either in P11, man. Top 10 today could be pretty big. You know, just a good chance to start that momentum again. These guys, Mealy, you know, and a lot of guys here in the pack, again, they're going for that dark horse trophy, right? So that could be, you know, I know it's not a championship, but it's still something to kind of go for. And that could be the case for Mealy. Season starts over, points are all reset to 0. entering this race for them. And hey, it might just be the motivation it takes to win something, right? To end your season off in some kind of a way that is positive. But I've always said, right, even if that wasn't there, hey, still, continue to race. Try and get, a season best finish, maybe a win. Something positive to end your season on. And Mealy can definitely be that kind of guy. So we'll see as we get going here. But lap 103, 16 laps to go here before stage 2's end. Let's get it back going here. Hagan and Max Brady up front, still sending it back green. Good run right here. Fetter place down the inside lane here of Kenny Reel. Might give it up right there. There he is. Good stuff. Kenny Reel doing a really conservative job, I feel like, of letting people go. I don't know if he's trying to do that or not, but he's doing a great job to make that happen. In the back, we're seeing a lot of guys to and from right here. Smecker going to try and make a move here down low as well as Will Doe. Good for Will Doe. That car looks pretty well clean, especially after all of the incidents he was involved in earlier on. A little right side damage still, but definitely heading in the right direction. Kaufman on the outside lane. Max Brady making a move here. Bowie tried to maybe try and stick it down low. Not going to be enough. Looks like Gowers is going to try and stick it on the inside. Bowie, man, look at that move. That's the thing, though, right there. You can see Bowie making it work on the inside, but you got to be so careful to not pinch the car on the outside lane too much on that left rear. That will send that 17 around. We saw that earlier with Dallaire and Smecker. Really good stuff late in this race. Mark Whitley trying as well on the inside. Not going to be enough. Smecker again around as well as Fleming. Down low. Fleming saved it, actually. Top of your screen. Good for him. He's been involved in multiple wrecks, but Fleming here, again, might be okay. I don't think he hit the wall there. Front of the car looks pretty good. Right side, not sure yet. Let's go back real quick and try and see what we can find out. Yeah, the car looks the same here, so. Oh, look at this. Smecker looks like maybe got that left rear, just like we talked about, right? Got that left rear of Halsey. We'll go back just a little bit, see if we can find out exactly what goes down here. So Smecker, get that chopper view. Usually our best. Look at the seat. Yeah, just right there. Halsey kind of comes down, actually, I feel like, into Smecker. Smecker was pretty well holding out that seam. Left tire's on the seam there. Halsey comes down just a tad bit. Again, dominating that corner. And, yeah, it goes around here. At least from this view, it looks like that's the case there. Fleming tried to make a save. Kept it off the wall, man. Good heads-up move for all those guys. Not a lot of damage for those cars, which is nice. Speeds here are relatively slow, which is good as far as, not killing the wall or your car. But these things are all pretty good. So, hey, not too bad. Lap 111. Stage 2 ends again at lap 120. So we're going to go green here once more and see if we can stay green over the stage. We had that not long green, but we had that green flag segment for about, what was that, 20 laps, 25 laps. And again, I feel pretty confident these guys can make it happen on a long green flag run. I really do think they can make it and do it. We've seen, long green flag runs at places that I wouldn't expect. I mean, shoot, I look back at New Hampshire, and that was a pretty rough race, right? A lot of cautions. But we had a segment there that was pretty well long of green flag. If we can just keep it green, these boys can definitely get it done. So But short track racing, playoff time, don't expect a lot of patience to go down for too long, so. I love that. This is the most airtime the Drip Drops 26 Ford Mustang has gotten all season. And you know what? We'll take it. Well, it's, you know, it's a... Listen, we love Devin. We love making fun of Devin, too, because he plays along just the same. But, man, it's tough. I mean, his season has been pretty rough. Not going to lie. I mean, here he is. Eventful day today so far, but, you know, a lot of the races earlier on in the season, probably about the first, maybe middle portion of it, man, he would wreck early on, or his internet would be, you know, the culprit, or he would just send it into the wall at Le Mans, or whatever it might be, right? But that can happen. Sometimes seasons don't go your way, but hey, either way, he has found himself in the playoffs, and you just need 4 races to put together to find yourself in that championship 4. So it can still happen. Lap 114 here, 6 laps away from stage 2 end. What can we get here? Brady and Hagen back up front still as we go back green. Max Brady way up high. Fresh tires will play a role into this at some point. Brandon Bowie just not wasting any time. He is way down low here, trying to make it happen right as they cross the line here. If we get a caution, that'll end the stage, since we are within that 5-lap gap of the scheduled end. So they're going for it now. John Hagen trying to hold on to that stage if he can. Playoff points, again, don't matter in this round, but those 10 points for winning a stage definitely do. Ooh, Whitley really loose out of 4, but man, saved it. Great job there, Fetter Place. Back through the field as well, man. We saw him way down low in the grid earlier on, but now he's worked himself back up to P7. Super good job here to keep it going. Single file now for the most part. Back in the field a little bit. Looks like, who is that? Halsey and Sharp. Salyers, excuse me, and Sharp on the outside lane, trying to just get through and hold on to it. Good stuff, man. These guys are just... Oh! Anderson! And who is that? Kaufman. Caution flag is out. That will end the stage, folks. John Hagen will be the stage 2 winner. Followed by Brady, Garza, Bowie, Thurston, Whitley, Fetter Place, Barroso, Reel, and then Jacob Wiest rounding out the top 10 for the stage. Happened just like that. Let's go back real quick and take a look. Everyone pitting super early. Again, these guys know it's the stage. A couple of guys choosing to come down pit road, though, for tires. They don't need fuel, but that more fuel might help the balance of the car, too. Keep in mind. Heavier fuel load. And such. Let's go back real quick and find out what happened to these 2 drivers. Try and get a good camera angle here. So Anderson on the inside. Kaufman right there on the outside as well. So these 2 end up tangling, it looks like, at some point. Could be right here. Maybe not. Try and top. Oh, Kaufman comes down into Anderson there. I'm not sure. Yeah. That's what it was. Anderson was right there. Kaufman came down low to take his apex, right? To take his corner entry, but Anderson was just not ready to turn in like that just yet. So that's what happened. A couple more down pit road. Anderson, Van Drugman. Van Drugman's car looks pretty well clean now. He had that big wreck on lap 7 that really wiped out the front of his car, but he's back in play now. Back in the late 20s, right? But still able to maybe continue on with this race. So a lot going down here from IRP. Already pretty much on the way to finishing this race. Lap 120, only 175 from this race today. So we're going to wind this down pretty quick as we get the one to go here. Probably delay the yellow once more just to get the lineup rolling. It looks like that usually is the case. There it is. Good stuff. Quick shout out to Admin Box, by the way. Hey, these guys have been around with us for a long time, since like season 2, I want to say. And man, these guys are very, very cool. So they offer, as you can see, the little video in their banner right there. Basically, it's like it's called an Admin Box, but it's essentially like a race control type of device. So you plug it into your PC, and there's a button for throwing the yellow flag or add more fuel or whatever. You just press the button, and it's automatically synced to iRacing, and it's pretty cool. Very, very cool for race control type drivers or people doing a session like today. So it's very, very cool. Just something different other than all the shortcuts you can do anywhere else. So Admin Box, go and check them out. .com. Very cool stuff. And use promo code ASRA, by the way. You get a hefty discount off of an Admin Box for yourself. So here we go, back green. Stage 2 is over. End of the race is all that matters now. Hagan, Brady, Thurston, Garza, and Barroso, your top 5. Gonna get this race back going here. Just under, over 50 laps to go here from IRP. Let's get it back going. John Hagan takes it back green. You've got to be so careful here. This is one of those places where I feel like if you're in that top 10, hey, you know what? A win might be possible today. Would be nice to finish well, but hey, you got to think about your points. Do I risk making a move that'll send me to the back of the field? Or do I just hold on to my top 10 for points and move on to Road America, right? That's the thing. It's all about that discretion. Look at this. James Thurston makes the move here for Max Brady. Uh-oh, back at the field, Fleming around. Whitley as well. Oh, man, Whitley in the back. Looks like it might have been 2 incidents at the same time. And again, Whitley was in that top about 7 or 8, really, for the most part. And this right here, this is what you can't afford to do. So, let's go back, take a look. Looks like it involved Fleming and, again, Whitley, but it might be 2 separate incidents, I've got a feeling here. Try and take a look here. Whitley in the front. Oh, okay, yeah, so it does happen between the 2. This camera angle is not the best, so let's try and find it. Here we go. So we'll see Whitley right here. And again, they're pretty well up in the front for the most part. Oh, so Fleming actually goes around. Yeah, Fleming just kind of snaps loose. And unfortunately, yeah, man, Whitley is just right there. Doesn't seem like anybody else got involved in it except those 2, so unfortunate. A lot of these guys, again, just came down pit road, took their fuel, in the tires. As we see a bunch of these guys doing that. Bowie, one of them as well. Right now in 14th. But those fresh tires could be pretty big as we wrap up this race. So under 50 laps to go in this, man, PRSsetups.com 175 here from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Short track racing. So far, pretty fun, I gotta say. The crashes were a secret fuel mileage strategy. Yeah, you know what? I'm in. I believe it. Why not? You're right. Hey, Smecker's right there. P12. It's possible. What is surprising me, though, is John Hagen, man. Again, he started 5th, so he's up, 4 spots, obviously. So he started up front, but he didn't really start. He definitely faded back quite a bit early on in the race, and now he's back here. So, I mean, we've seen how fast Garza is, obviously, early on. Thurston. Brady has shown signs of speed, obviously. So, man, I think it just comes down to, again, track position, green flag racing. I think passing is just super difficult, which is part of it, But that's part of the game here. Tough to pass. Especially, man, these guys up front, they just know how to run this track. The fast drivers will always figure out how to be quick. And I think we're seeing that today especially. So they're doing what they can with 1 lap to go here. Might delay it one more time. Looks like that's going to be the case. But a lot of good names up front. Look at this. I mean, Garza's still in P4. I think he can get it done. Frankie Rosa there. Brandon Fetterplace, man, up to P5. Really good job. Joseph Milley, P7. Kenny Reel, 8th. Thomas Meeks, 9th. I mean, hey, these guys are good, but these guys aren't typically top 10 drivers, right? But in a case like today, a lot can happen. And they're making everything work in their favor. Love to see that today. Hagen, Brady again, up front. 45 laps to go here from IRP. I think these guys know it, right? Everybody in the front of the field, they know it's going to be short little run bursts the entire time. 3 wide in the back. Anderson for a second was 3 wide between Will Doe and Van Drugmond. Everyone trying to get themselves back to the front. Man, good shots here though. 3 and 4 wide almost. Out of turn 3 and turn 2. Man, awesome racing all around this track. Back here though, this is definitely... This is not where you want to be. I'll tell you that. These guys all racing hard. So difficult. John Hagen still up front right here. P2 under... Oh no, Brady gonna be... Oh, lordy. We saw him get super loose there to turn 4. I thought he was gonna come down into Thurston. Looks like he avoided that, man. Good save for those 2 guys. Meeks, big wiggle out of turn 2. Oh my gosh, and there it is. Angel hard into the wall there with a bunch of these guys, teammates colliding. Whitley involved, Ryan Sharp. And a big caution here. Meeks got super loose out of turn 2, we saw in the background. And then I believe Angel might have gotten right into the back end of him. Meeks gonna try and get himself to pit road and not have to tow. What went down here? It looks like I think it happened the way I just described it, but we will see. Chopper view. Let's look at it. So right here, going to be a big wiggle out of this corner. Oh, maybe some contact from MJ. Oh, it looks like it was. Okay, so that's what happened there. Oh, big hit from Bowie. And then Angel's already into the wall here. Comes across the nose of Bowie and then just sends him into Narnia on the inside by the grass. Oh, man, unfortunate for Angel. Man, Meeks was up there as well, too, in the top 10, right? Whitley has nowhere to go and just slams into that 55. Ryan Sharp the same. Seems like everyone else was able to get through, maybe. Kaufman, not so much. Hate to see it. But late into these races, that's what happens. Josh Larson comes down pit road here. Whitley as well. Fixing some damage, obviously. But again, see, and here's the thing. So here's the thing. A lot of these guys, right, they made the choice not too long ago to come down pit road and take tires, right? Top off on fuel, even though they didn't really need it. So they thought the tires would be a lot better than the track position. Well, we're finding out now that's not really the case because, again, when you go into that middle pack and beyond, it gets super sketchy. And I think that's what we're finding out now, right? At a track like this, if I'm a driver in this race, my goal is to keep me out in front as long and as much as possible. And I think, honestly, Hagan has really kind of figured it out. I think he did the right thing. At some point, he had to have pit before everyone else and then got to the front. And then, you know, he basically worked this race backwards, right? He found out how long he can go, pit then, and then everyone else pit, you know, after him, which is why he's in P1. Larson did the same thing, but he fell back quite a bit. So Hagan, though, has been able to hold on to that spot. So we'll see. He has the clean air. Hagan does. I've got a funny feeling if Hagan falls back even 1 or 2 spots, it's not going to be good for him because he'll be in dirty air, older tires, right? Things like that. So I think he's doing what he can do now because he has the clean air in front of him. But if Garza or Thurston get around him, I think that'll change the game for Hagan. Hagan needs to stay in P1, I've got a feeling, to make this happen for him. But hey, lap 140, we're getting down to it. 35 laps to go here as we get down to the end of this race. Once again, going green, John Hagan and Adam Garza on the front row here. Hagan got a great start. Garza tried to time it right, just couldn't do it. Thurston way down low here, taking the short route. Might be enough to take over P2 from his teammate Garza. Looks like that is the case. And now has its eyes set on that number 81. Can he get around Hagan to assume the lead? A little further back. Big fight between Frankie Barroso, Kenny Reel. And then back beyond, man, look at this. Jacob Weiss right in the middle of this mess. Brendan Bowie on the outside as well. Into the wall hard. Drugman, hey, look at him. P12. We saw him wrecked earlier on in this race and making up for it right now. Big contact. 3 wide here. Just does not work. Yellow flag is out again. In the back, Will Doe once more goes around. Looks like it might have been a single car incident. I don't see anybody else highlighted for me on my end. We will find out, though. Will Doe, here he is by himself for the most part on the front stretch. Ooh, might have bounced off that wall there, kind of awkward. Yep, and just snapped on him. And around he goes. Holds the brakes. Nice job. Everybody goes around. Yellow flag is out. Not too bad for Will Doe, unfortunately. Busy day for him, but it's tough. It's definitely tough, right? This track and these conditions. Sun is starting to set. We're going to get, we might get to nighttime conditions. We'll see. It might be at the very, very end, but daytime and sunset, always interesting. A lot of these guys, unfortunately, back here. Ryan Sharp on pit road. Zelazny not having a great day for himself. Playoff drivers. Christian Angel. Looks like he might be out of the race, unfortunately. Don't see him on track right now, at least. As well as Thomas Meeks. Man, just really good days for them, but aren't able to finish off that way. So lap 144, we've got a little bit ways to go here. Not too bad. We're going to go race day nonstop real quick. Thank some sponsors while we have the time. We'll come right back, folks.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like doggy bowl empty, Vegas full sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back to the PremierSetups.com Indy 175 here from IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park, under our 15th caution. Right now on lap 147. Going to be going back green here about lap 148 or 9. So we'll have just about 25 laps to go here, give or take a lap or two to wrap up this race. So been pretty fun. It's exactly what I expected so far. You know, kind of cautions here and there. But it's been fun. It's been different. It's been fun. It's been exactly what I expected it to be, right? As an opening playoff race. But hasn't been bad. I feel like, these guys, I feel like we could definitely go green for a long time if these guys actually, really tried hard, right? Or if conditions maybe were different. I don't know what it would take to get to that point, but I mean, they have shown to me that it's been just a typical short track, right? Crazy conditions and playoff jitters maybe and all that. So we're gonna go back green here on lap 149. So yeah, 26 laps to go here in this race. Just about wrapped up. Good amount of cautions, but honestly, it's been a lot of fun to watch them try and navigate this tough track. And right now, Hagan and Thurston trying to figure this out. Who can win this race? Who can walk away with the most points? Here we go. Back green flag we go. Huge checkup. Oh my gosh. Big checkup. Max Brady. Better place. Huge wreck here in turn 2. The big one happens at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Oh my gosh. Huge implications here. The outside line just did not go. We saw Thurston kind of check up a bit. And I think that's what kind of started the whole thing. Man, huge mess right here on lap 150. Where do we even begin? Holy crap. At least from the live feed, it kind of seemed like Thurston tried to time it the right way, but then just didn't. And man, that was really tough. We'll catch it back from the, we'll go all the way back here actually. Try and find out when it went down. So you'll see it here. So you'll see Thurston try and kind of go, but then times it wrong and kind of has to check up because he can't beat the leader to the line. Watch the Geico restart zone right here. You see Thurston kind of catch up right there a little bit, but then has to slow down because he didn't time it right. And then right here, Kenny Reel, boom, right into the back of Max Brady, the number 11 car. Mealy, everyone behind. And then it just causes this huge stack up. Brady gets shoved down low. Better place, unfortunately, is the recipient of that. And then around we go. Man, super unfortunate for a lot of these guys. But that can happen, right? A big stack up at these restarts. Thurston just didn't time it quite right. And everyone else behind him, thinks, hey, we're green, we're going to go. But no, that isn't the case. You got to watch out for the car in front of you. And man, that's just, it can happen, right? It can happen anywhere, at any track. And that is, unfortunately, part of racing. That can just be how it's like. Max Brady going to be in the pits now. Unfortunate. Was right up there in the field. Better place now in 21st. Was doing really well. Car doesn't seem actually too bad. The front end a little bit banged up, but not terrible. And again, these wrecks at tracks like this aren't necessarily heavy hitters in the sense of damage, right? It's always usually bad for them in the sense of track position. They lost all that, all that time. And 23 to go, definitely a heartbreak. So Hagan right now seems like to be, man, he has just found this strategy, right? I think he's just figured it out. Pitted before everyone else did, and has been able to hold on to his spot. Now, we still don't know if he's good to go on fuel. That could be a question, but with all these cautions, I think he's probably going to be okay, right? So 22 to go. I think he just found the strategy that might have worked for him the best. Got himself out in front in P1, controls the restarts, and gets himself into that best case scenario. So not too bad right now. A lot of guys in the front of the pack here. And who made it through? I love this. A lot of Smecker fans today in the chat. Love when a fan base shows up. Always a good time. 21 laps to go here. We're winding it down here from IRP. Again, Hagan, Garza in the front. Frankie Broso found his way back through all that mess. Look at this, though. Van Drugman on the way back. Michael Johnson as well. Back from the ashes, these two. Oh, no, but Michael Johnson just destroys Van Drugman. And goes around as we're watching him. Oh, no. Johnson just got into that, again, that left rear of the 14. And, man, after all that work for Drugman, unfortunate. Hagan still maintains the top spot. But what went down here? Man, it's just so tough. Got to be so careful to not do that. And man, Drugman just snapped loose right there at the end of it. You hate to see it. Michael Johnson, though, already went down. Let's go back actually a bit further. So we'll go back to Michael Johnson's view. Here he is. So he's side by side here, door to door. Well, look at this. Coming into turn 2. You'll kind of see it. Just boop. Just a little bit on the back end of that left rear. Drugman tries to save it, but then, man, it's just, at this place, for some reason, these cars just absolutely snap when they get loose. And that's all it takes, unfortunately, for him to have that issue. Zelazny got involved as well. Mealy, it looks like, got some damage there on the right side. Everyone else kind of snuck through. Looks like Bowie and a couple more were involved in that. But, man, unfortunate right there. Michael Johnson should be getting the EOL for as the caution causer for that, which is why he probably decided to come down pit road. So there he is. Van Drugman, man, was up there in the top 6 and just got away from him. Unfortunate. Short track racing, man, that's what it does to you. You can pull your hair out. Next week, it's not going to get any easier. Next week, we go to Road America for our third and last road course race of the season. Pretty familiar track, I feel like, with these guys, with this car. We've been there 2 other times in this series. So they should know that track pretty well. And, I think it'll be pretty good. But our last race, road course race, and also the conclusion to our Cardano Endurance Cup. I think that'll be a lot of fun to see who can win that. Right now, Brandon Six is the leader of the points in that, and looks pretty good to maybe win it overall. So we'll see if he can do that next week from Road America. But we have to finish up here from IRP. Hagan, Garza, Thurston, Barroso, and Smecker up in the top 5. Man, Smecker, after his, bad luck, that car looks pretty well beat up too, man. Still finds himself in the top 5. Very, very good job for Smecker so far to recover, right? That's huge. Dallaire as well, not too far back in P10. Salyers, up and down day. We saw him wreck earlier on and up to P11. So it's possible to get yourself back up to the front, but after all these cautions, that typically is how you do it. We're going to get it back going, though. 15 laps to go once we get to the line. Make your predictions now. Will we see a green-white checkered finish? I'm going to say yes, but hey, why not? It's been a lot of fun so far today. A lot of cautions, but a lot of good time here at IRP. Here we go again. Hagan and Garza, lead us off. Thurston knows he has to make the inside work at some point. He's got to get around Hagan if he wants a chance at this win, but he has to do it early. Hagan looks really, really good earlier on. Barroso actually struggling hard right now in the outside lane. Can't get the thing to turn. Trying to get around, he does. Back in the field, 3 and almost 4 wide here. Lord have mercy. They're trying everything they can to get positions. 4 wide. Oh, there goes Fleming. Around the inside. Down, past into the grass. The caution does not come out. We stay green. Fleming will come down pit road here. Man, good timing for him, I guess, to come down pit road right where it happened, but we stay green. Frankie Barroso up against Jacob Weist. Not going to give him an inch. Look at this. Weist and Barroso trying hard to make it work. I'm not sure why those shadows are popping up on the cars like that, but might be a bug on the track. Villalobos going to try. Oh, Larson in the background. Kept it straight. Unbelievable job, man. Holy. To keep it going. 12 laps to go, and Hagan still up front. Bowie going to make a dive move here in front of Smecker. On the inside. Not going to quite. Ooh, he does get there, actually. Anderson working his way back up to the front, too. Just got around Salyers. Max Brady going to get into Salyers. Salyers cannot save it, or can he? He does. Man, he got used up by Max Brady right there. Unfortunate. Short track racing. You got to get those points when you can. In the front, John Hagan, man, looking so good. Just chose the right strat today. 10 laps to go. Super quick is Hagan. Can Thurston get to the front, though? After a pretty rough kind of middle of the season here for Hagan. Oh, yellow flag is out once again. Ethan Delaire, I think. Actually, we're not even seeing... Hold on now. Oh, maybe James Coffin, actually, we're being told. We weren't alerted initially, but I think it might be Kaufman here. Try and see if we can go back and find out where and who it happened to. Let's see if Kaufman was where it went down. Yeah, see how all the shadows are kind of popping into the cars? I don't know why it's doing that, but it's certainly interesting. Should be in this corner right here. Kaufman sends it in. Does he get onto that seam, maybe? Delaire's right here, in trouble. Oh, man, just gets into Delaire. Hard to really tell from that angle who's at fault, but Delaire got involved as well. Kept it going straight, though, so not too bad for him. All right. Hey, we're within 10 laps to go now. What can we do? Oh, the shadow thing's happening to you, too? Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, like right here, it shows the cars all lit up and perfectly fine, but on the backstretch, it seems like they kind of just not render the shadow. Look at this. Boop. Bye-bye. Weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It's almost like the backstretch lights aren't... they're illuminating the track, but not the car. But then it pops right back on, so... Super weird, but it's all good. Yeah, somebody forgot to turn on half the lights. I like that. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's just one of those bugs. I get that's kind of the cost of going to a track that isn't, properly updated, I guess. Like most tracks are, but It's all good. We'll take it. They can still see. I think it's just a replay glitch for us as we're watching it. It doesn't affect the drivers themselves. So that's all good. John Hagen, though, man, I'll tell you what. If he walks away with this win, that would be pretty big. Now, in the playoffs, there's no win and you're in, right? So he's not going to advance himself to the championship 4 if he wins this or if anybody wins this. But it'll obviously be a max points, haul for, getting himself into, that conversation of being a part of that. So we'll see. A win does not mean you're advancing, but it's obviously the max amount of points you can get from a finish. So he has done a fantastic job by picking the right strategy, pitted early before all these guys, and able to get himself in position. So, and we've seen it, right? I mean, we've seen 5 or 10 lap little run, to where Garza or Thurston can maybe make that move to get past him. But, Hagen just has a good gap after he, after the initial launch of a restart. So it doesn't really seem like, Garza or Thurston have the speed or maybe even the handling to get around Hagen right now. I think they're going to have to really just nail the timing of the restart. And we've seen them try to do it. We've seen Garza try and time it the right way, and Thurston obviously as well, but it just wasn't enough to really make it happen. So they will have to time this perfectly. We're going to be 3 laps to go here from Indy Raceway Park. Will this be the finale of the race, or will we see a green-white checkered? Here we go. John Hagen, Adam Garza up front. Hagen with an amazing start right there on the inside lane. Green flag is back out. Thurston going to try and dive down low here on the inside. The best his teammate Garza. Looks like that will be the case. Hagen making a great move there up alongside Bowie, and Devin Smecker still fighting back and forth here. 2 laps to go from IRP. If we get the white flag, we will not see a yellow flag. So will we get to the white flag here? Hagen just absolutely finding his way around this place the best from P1. Do we get the white flag here? The Starch Industries white flag. Yes, we do. And there it is from IRP. John Hagen, man, he has just figured out this place in a short time. Chose the best strategy to make it happen. Got out in front of all these guys and has just held on to that track position the entire time. John Hagen comes out right now and will win the PRSsetups.com Indy 175. Awesome job here for John Hagen. Man, what a job for John Hagen to make this work in that number 81 Busch Apple machine. I'm sure he's a 12-pack in right now. I know he always jokes about it, but very well could be, man. John Hagen gets the job done today. Super good effort from him. All those yellow flags and leading from the pole, every restart definitely helps, right? Always get yourself a great jump and just made it happen. Awesome job here for John Hagen. Got the lead and didn't look back. Top 10, James Thurston P2, Adam Garza in 3rd spot, Brendan Bowie in P4, Smecker in P5, amazing recovery for Smecker, Frankie Broso P6, Mark Whitley in P7, Anderson P8, Villalobos P9, and Jacob Wiest in 10th place. Big win for John Hagen here for the first round and the first race of the playoffs. Amazing job for Hagen. We'll be back right in a second, folks. We'll thank a couple sponsors, and we'll talk to our top 3. Stick around. Welcome back, folks, to the end of the PRSsetups.com Indy 175. Adam Garza finishing in P3 after a pretty electric race today. Let's bring him in real quick. We'll talk to our top three as we always do. Trying to see if we can find him real quick. Here he is. There's the man, Adam Garza, in the number 8 machine today. Walks away with a great points haul and finishes P3 on the day, man. Hey, great job today. Led a bunch of laps early on. Got the pole, I believe, too, if I recall right. And, man, looked pretty sharp. What are your thoughts on tonight's race?
Well, that was easily the worst race I've ever been a part of in my short sim racing career. But like you said, we'll take the points, take the pole, and the points, whatever comes with that. Points, right? In these playoffs. But, you know, just got to make that next round. That's all we're worried about. That's all we're going to do. Can't thank Brian enough, and Greg at Cardano, and, you know, everyone over there that makes all this possible. And yeah, just a little frustrating that, you know, 2 tires actually worked there. He went on the whole race on 2 tires, and he wasn't even top 10 in the speed charts prior to the race. So it's frustrating, but, you know, props to him. You got to be smarter sometimes, and Hagan deserves that one.
Yes, sir, man. Good stuff today for sure. Hey, give us a quick shout out to your sponsors or friends and family. What you got, man? The floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks to, you know, Brian putting all this together, and Greg at, you know, Cardano, which is Bone Pool, Hosky, and, you know, Drip Drops for Devin. I'm glad he was able to get into the playoffs, and, you know, he deserves it. He's a great guy, and the cards fell his way, so happy for that bunch as well. And yeah, just overall frustrating day, but, you know, we'll take a P3, and we try to have fun, but it wasn't really fun, but we'll have fun the next coming races, I'm sure.
Yes, sir, man. All right. Well, have a good night, dude. We'll see you next week at Road America.
All right. See you, Steve.
All right. There he is, Adam Garza. Super happy about his finish today. Always love to see his just positivity and commitment to the league. Let's bring in P2 on the day, James Thurston. Man, awesome run again for him today. Let's sneak him in here. Where is he? James Thurston. There he is. Number 6 machine today. P2 on the day. Hey, pretty rough race. Caution fest, kind of a you know, one of those races. We'll put it that way. But something different. P2 on the day, a great points haul, which honestly matters the most when it comes to this format, this round. So, what are your thoughts, Ben, on the P2 today?
Yeah, man. I wanted to win this race so bad. I thought I was in a really good spot to do it. I was on better tires, or better left side tires than John there, and, you know, I was thinking, you know, if I could just get a good restart and send it on the inside, I might have something for him. And he was just getting really good restarts, timing it differently than I could anticipate. And it seemed like once he could get going in clean air, it was just better than my tires were. Just, yeah, lots and lots of yellows. Should have probably just taken 2 on the first pit stop, the only pit stop. Just, yeah, just thanks to Cardano, Drip Drops, Monita, all of our partners. Just, you know, a great way to start the playoffs. Got some points, but I think we need to get some wins here, some more wins.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, next week, Road America, we know how good you are at tracks like that, so that could be a big one for you there, man. But awesome run today. I know you've already shouted out some sponsors, but hey, I'll give you the floor if you have any more.
Yeah, just once again, just Murphy Sports, Cardano, Drip Drops, Monita, everyone that makes this thing go fast and makes it look pretty on the racetrack. Just a really fun race out there when we were green, and we're gonna have a much more fun one when we go to the road course and don't have any yellows.
That's a good point. Yay. Caution's here. Next week we'll make up for it. All green flag racing next week, guaranteed. So good stuff, man. We'll see you then. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
All right. There he is, James Thurston. Hey, good point, right? Caution fest tonight, but next week, hey, road courses, there's no yellow flag. So good stuff. We'll bring in P1 now. It's going to be, where is he? John Hagan gets the big W today. Let's get him in here. There he is. John Hagan, man, 4th win on the season. Gets the job done in the 81 Busch Light Apple machine, man. Hey, looks pretty good today. I wasn't really clear on what your strategy was early on. I saw that you took tires maybe, being told right side tires maybe, and you just made it work the entire race, dude. How'd you do it?
Survive. That's how I did it. It wasn't really nothing special. First stage, I get dumped on lap 1, and because I have talent. I saved it. But, I mean, everybody was running into everybody each lap. So, I mean, just survive. I was behind the 8 ball to begin the race, which gave me the opportunity to try something. I knew in practice the lefts weren't wearing crazy, at least the left rear wasn't. So I had a pretty good chance at taking 2 and it not being undrivable. And so after that, I think what was it, end of stage 1 or something around there?
Yeah.
When everybody came down to take tires, I took just rights. And I mean, my lefts were 98. So I wasn't lacking any grip at all by taking just rights. And me and Max did it and leapfrogged up to the lead and controlled the race for the good part until he had his mistake. But, I mean, even if it had gone green, I feel like my pace was plenty good enough to just drive away and stay in front. It was just a matter of can you get the track position or not. It's impossible to pass here.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And that's what we talked about in the booth too. It's just, man, this track, really, really tight. Playoff implications. Obviously, people want to get to the front, want to get that points. But, hey, man, either way, you worked it out. Definitely made the smarter move by those 2 tires. And sometimes it takes that instead of just raw speed, man. So good stuff today. Obviously, there's no winning you're in, but hey, these pretty much got the max points haul today as far as the win. So good stuff, dude. Next week we'll go to Road America. I know you're pretty decent at road courses, so what are your thoughts about that?
Road America is probably the one road course I think I have figured out on all of iRacing. So I'm looking forward to it next week.
Love that, man. Gonna be a lot of fun. Hey, I'll give you the floor real quick. You have any sponsors? What you got?
Shout out to AZR, Trevor and Jackson for putting me in this car and having me race for them this season. It's been a blast. Thank you to them. Shout out you, Steve, for running this league and the broadcast all at once. You do a heck of a job. Shout out PRS for the set today. It was beautiful. I don't think I ever, not a million years would have ever thought somebody could build a setup that didn't drive like trash at IRP on the next gen. So props to them. Shout out my family back home who's watching. Thank you for watching. Shout out my beautiful girlfriend. She supports me every time I do races, so shout out her. And yeah, we'll go get it next week at Road America.
Yes, sir, man. Awesome job so far. 4th win on the season, dude. Have a good night, and hey, go and celebrate.
Thank you.
There he is, John Hagan today. Big winner from IRP today. Hey, something different. Obviously, hey, not the fan favorite in regards to the drivers, and you know, already seeing comments of it's a caution fest and it's this and that. Yeah, you know what? It was, right? But for me, we throw on tracks because why the hell not? Granted, yes, maybe it shouldn't be a playoff race. Maybe it should be a regular season race. That's fair. I'll take that criticism. But you know what? It's just an extra layer in my mind of something interesting and maybe even fun to a degree to try in a playoff race and in this time. So, hey, either way, a lot of fun. I had fun. I thought it was a pretty good race outside of obviously the yellow flags, but short track racing, you're going to get that a lot of the times at normal tracks. You know, look at Martinsville or New Hampshire. We've had those in the playoffs before, and those are quote unquote normal tracks, but they usually produce worse races. Worser? Is that a word? Worse races than this. So, you know, it comes down to the competition, the drivers, right? It comes down to, hey, practice, a lot of things, right? Competition, ease up on the corners. Don't try too hard. Could be a lot of things, but either way, it's a fun race. First round, it's over with. Next week, we go road course racing at Road America. And hey, like they said before, there's no yellows at road courses. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of green flag racing, and a whole different race structure next week. So big shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody watching online. Hit that subscribe button, the like button. We appreciate it for sure. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for making it happen. And hey, like I said, next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be back here on race day for Road America, race number 2 of the round of 16. And we'll see you there. Have a good night, folks. We love you.